Liverpool around this time last year were seen as the best team in the world, being top of the table of the Premier League and top of the table of the Champions League, suffering only one loss in between those two competitions. They seemed like they were going to win everything. With 0 signings, Arne Slot was able to win the Premier League 6 games ahead of the final match day. To defend their title, Liverpool spent £446 million on Ekitike, Frimpong, Kirkis, and Leone, and their 2 marquee signings, stealing Florian Wirtz from Bayern Munich and making Alexander Isak force his way out of Newcastle. This was seen as a statement transfer window for Liverpool, making it clear that they would compete for the Premier League and the Champions League, and their intentions were to dominate those competitions for the coming years. Fast forward to now, and Arne Slot's Liverpool is not doing too well. Currently, it finds itself in 6th place in the Premier League and in 9th place in the Champions League, totaling 9 losses in all competitions. So what in the world is happening to Liverpool? How could this team that tried to be the Galacticos of England end up the way that Liverpool is heading now? As I've said before, Liverpool and Real Madrid right now are in similar spots, having signed big players, big name players, everyone wanting to be a superstar, and yet the team cannot gel. The manager can't do it. There's too many egos going around. Now, the way Liverpool handled this whole buying player situation was horrendous. I mean, they brought in damn near every single player is offensive, bar from Kirkis and Leone, who Leone is a center back, and Kirk is a bit of a more offensive fullback as well, same as Frimpong, which is why I call him as an offensive signing. On top of that, you already have Mo Salah, and you brought in 2 players who want to be the stars of the team. Wirtz, who was the star at Leverkusen, and Isak, who was the main man at Newcastle United. So off the bat, people could clearly see there was a bit of an imbalance. They let go of Kwanzaa, who was a good center back, a decent center back to have, brought in Leone, no other center back, and they lost players that could offer immense defensive ability and hard work rate in Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz, 2 players that would run with or without the ball for the 90 minutes. As said, this is very similar to the Real Madrid situation. Isak, Salah, all of these players, Wirtz, they don't know how to not be the center of the game. Liverpool, Arne Slot's having to balance out the positions, balance out the workload between the players, not allowing Wirtz to be the center, right? Not allowing Alexander Isak to be the focal point of this attack. Not allowing Salah, who oftentimes the players that he was playing with would generate space for Salah. Those players are no longer there. These players think they are the main guy, right? And it's down to Arne Slot to figure out and put them in check on who is the main guy, who are we playing for, and what your job is on the pitch. Not only that, but I mean, the amount of changes that happened in this squad within this summer transfer window was like this. I mean, one day you had Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and the next day you didn't have them. This makes up for a complete lack of cohesion, which is exactly what we're witnessing with Liverpool right now. They don't know when to press, or who should press, or where, or the pressure points. And I mean, you're throwing in players like Kirkis, who, yes, he is a good player. I think he's gonna do great things, but he is way young, way too young. And you're throwing, we've seen a lot from with the Bournemouth players who did incredible stuff. The center back, I forgot his name, Dean Huijsen, and now Kirkis. These guys are incredibly talented, but they get thrown into these teams with immediate expectations. Sometimes players have to take their time. This is one of the examples. Arne Slot continues to be stubborn and not play Robertson starting off, trying to continue to force Kirkis into that left back position, starting left back position, when he needs time to adjust. He's just a kid, and Liverpool is a massive club with massive expectations. And then of course there is that whole Salah situation, which stems off of the fact that it seems like Arne Slot has not made it clear to the players who the main guys will be, who we're gonna be playing for, what job they're gonna be doing, and that is something that I feel it's his fault. He should be the one that is dictating and telling them who they are, because in contrary to Real Madrid, I think Isak, I think Wirtz, I think Ekitike, who has been incredible, they would understand that, oh, we're playing for Salah, with Salah. And if Salah is a hindrance, go ahead, tell Salah, you know, you're going to be playing for Alexander Isak per se, or Ekatike, or for Verts to his strengths. But it doesn't seem like that has happened. We've seen this Liverpool be just completely disoriented. And it doesn't help that your best center backs, Konate and Van Dijk, are completely exposed most of the time because players don't know where to go. And that's led to incredible fumbles by both Konate and Van Dijk. Now, as I did say, it does seem very similar to the fact that sometimes Liverpool seems to be missing, going late into tackles, or going too soft into tackles, or not. It seems like they're not trying, which is very similar to what's going on at Real Madrid. Players not running, players not intense enough. But as opposed to the way you can see Real Madrid, the way they play, these Liverpool players, immediately you can see they're lacking confidence. It's not that they don't want to try for the coach. It's not that they're putting a fuss and they're trying to make their voices heard. No, these guys are simply so not confident. I mean, as I said, they've been going on a horrendous losing amount of games. And there's been multiple fumbles from multiple players. Like I said, Konate has been dreadful this season, which is a good sign for Arne Slot and Liverpool, because it does mean that the players are not giving up on him. Rather, they're just down. They're just down right now. And as a manager, you got to be responsible for, as I said, giving them their roles and helping them through this rough patch as well. Now, is Slot the right manager for this? First of all, I don't think Slot's going to get sacked this year. Why? Because Liverpool are not a club that sacks their managers mid-season. They'll probably give him to the end, and if this doesn't pick up, he'll get sacked. But I think Slot, you know, similar to Xabi Alonso, he's a young manager, right? And he's a bit stubborn right now, but I reckon, you know, as the season progresses, I mean, this team has incredible quality. This team has an incredible slide. This team has also been hit with quite a bit of injuries. And Liverpool also have the money to spend on the winter transfer window on some center backs that could come in for Konate if he's playing bad, or if another injury hits, you know, get yourself another right back or a more defensive left back than Kirk is. So yes, Slot, I think he is a good manager. Give him time. He is very stubborn, very similar to Xabi Alonso, how stubborn they are, but he'll come around. And you know what? I just finished watching the Brighton versus Liverpool game. It seems that Salah might stay and not leave after AFCON to another team. Hopefully he stays, because that would be really sour for such a Liverpool legend to leave that way. And finally, Liverpool are going through a very rough patch. I mean, we know what happened in the summer. Diogo Jota, he was a very intimate player in the dressing room. He was very important, and of course a lot of these players are still battling with that. So there is some slack to be cut off from Liverpool. Things happen. I think this Liverpool team they'll get going next year. I really do think Slot's gonna be able to make this Liverpool team actually play a good game. Slot just has to adapt to the fact that he doesn't have the players that he had last year, like Trent, Luis Diaz, and Darwin Núñez, players who would press for you, and adapt to that fact and let the players grow into a new system, develop a new system around those players, and keep rewarding players that are actually playing well, like Ekatike. He's been insane. Maybe Isak had to take a bench for a while.
Alright, I'm here in post-credit. I completely forgot to talk about Chiesa. This plays into Arne Slot's stubbornness. I mean, Chiesa is an incredible player, and he's shown every single time he's been on the pitch. And talking about Salah soon, he doesn't seem to be playing well. And if there's anybody of the players that are similar to the players that you let go, like Luis Diaz, it's Chiesa. That guy runs for whoever he needs to run for, and he presses, which would help Arne Slot immensely when it comes to having a player that presses and is able to run around. Anyways, back to the video.
So that's my view on Liverpool right now. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next one.